All right, so for this one, you can choose to get all of your shapes out. If you want to, you can just watch the video. Some of you may want to participate. It's kind of fun. This is what I have here is actually page 225. Again, you don't have to tear these out, but you could. I also have page 227. Okay, these are little grid sheets that I'm going to be using to model with. All right, we're going to be talking again about the attributes, which attributes mean the qualities, the things about the shapes, what makes the shapes that they are. So again, remember that we had shapes that were rectangles, right? Okay, and squares. We've talked about triangles, we've talked about circles. I'm going to start first with rectangles, okay? Now, what would you notice happens if I took two of the same size rectangle? Notice that they are the same size, they are different colors, but what shape is created when I put the two of them together like this? It forms another rectangle, right? Now, is there another way I could put these two shapes together that also will form a rectangle? Yeah, I can actually put another one going down this way, okay? Now, is there a way for me to make it into a square? Now, what you'll notice is right now, how many of these squares does one rectangle take up? It takes up 1, 2, 3 squares. And in order for a square to be a square, all the sides need to be the same length, right? So if it's 3 going down, how many would need to go across? It would need to be 1, 2, 3 across. Is it possible for me to put another one here? It is. I can go and hunt for another shape that's exactly like it and put it right there. And we have made not only obviously we've made a rectangle, right, because it's still a rectangle, but we've made a special rectangle called a square. All right, but we're going to go back to just the rectangles. Are there other ways we can create bigger rectangles? Well, I think that there are. So if you wanted to, you can go ahead and play along. If you have your shapes, I'm going to just kind of start building. I'm going to go here and maybe here, and then I'm going to take another one, maybe here, and there we go. Look at that. I built another square. Okay. All right, what else could I do? Well, now I could add just this one right here. Is it a square anymore? It's not a square, but it is a rectangle. So we could keep going with this. We could keep adding more and more things to create bigger and bigger pieces. So I could go again and I could just put these at the bottom. And I've made an even bigger rectangle. All right, how about if I wiped these ones away? What do I have left? Oh, yeah, I still have a rectangle, right? 4 corners, 4 sides. Okay, how about if I took this one away? I do, I still have a rectangle. How about here? I still have a rectangle. How about now? Yep, still a rectangle. Look at this. Still a rectangle. So you can see that there are many different ways you can be assembling these shapes to create various sizes and types of rectangles. Okay, so these are all rectangles. We tried to make as many rectangles that were not squares, which meant that the sides were not equal. All right, now how many different ways can we make with these variety of rectangles? Are there different ways that we can make squares? All right, so for it to be a square, the sides would all have to be even like we did before. So if I go 4 down, I would have to have at least 4 going across. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to fill in all of this space here. It doesn't matter with which of the rectangle shapes I use as long as it fills them all in. So I notice this is 3 across, and I know that this one takes up 3, so I could fill that one in there. And I could take this one big rectangle and I could fit it in there. And voila, I've made myself a square. I could also take away this one, and instead I can put in 2 of these little small ones. Actually, sorry, let me take one of those away. I meant to do 1 of those and 1 of these ones. But I could have taken this one away, and I could put 3 of those small squares there, and I still have a square. So you can see that there are different ways, and you can go ahead and push pause and try out the different ways that you can make different squares with the pieces that you have. Okay, I have a few more of these pieces than you probably have copies of, which is why I can make some of the different ones. Okay, all right, let's talk about some of the other shapes that we have. We're going to be making different other shapes. We're going to be practicing squares and making more shapes with, say, triangles. But first, let's go ahead and flip this over and see what are some of the questions. All right, it wants us to build a square using rectangles. So if I were to use rectangles, if I had a friend with me, okay, because you would have to have multiple sets of these, I could take these rectangles, right, and there you go. I've built a square. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could try this on your own with your pieces. All right, let's look at the next task. It wants you to build a rectangle with all sides the same length. So, and it wants us to use triangles with a square corner. So remember, the square corner is like the edge of a book. Okay, so this would be the triangle that has a square corner. And it wants us to make a rectangle with the sides that are all the same length. So what does that mean? It means it's going to be a square, correct? So can I do it like this? Is that going to work? No, it's not going to be a square. But if I turn this around and I join my two long parts, okay, that would form a square. All right. How about this one? Building a rectangle with two short sides and two long sides. Ooh, it wants me to use triangles and rectangles. So let's see. So I have to end up still with a rectangle though, okay, using both triangles. So I have some triangles here. All right. Let me see. And it wants me to use some rectangles too. All right, maybe I've got some rectangles here. So let's see. How am I going to put these shapes together in order to make what it wants? Well, I know that if I turn these around, nope, not that way. How about this way? Yep, there we go. I made a rectangle. But remember, it wanted me to use both triangles and other rectangles. So where could I put these that it would make sense? Could I go here and here? Oh yes, that would work. Look at that. I could also put this here and put this one here. And I've still made a rectangle using both triangles and rectangles to make it. Okay, so you can practice, you can play with this. There are different sizes of rectangles that are included with the kit that you have. You have the right triangle ones. I could make a smaller one of these by putting these two ends together. All right, now it still wanted me to have two short sides and two long sides though. So I could take one of these and put it maybe, let's see, is this going to work? We'll see. I'm going to have some more of those triangle pieces to fill it in. So let's put these ones here as well. And what am I going to still need? What do you think? Oh, you know what? I don't know if I can even use those because look, I would be too short. That's interesting. I didn't even realize that those weren't the right sizes to match. All right, so we're going to have to take those ones away. Let's see, how about this? If I need some other triangles then. I'm going to go back to probably this one, and let me see. Oh, there's my other ones that I wanted. I think these ones are going to work. Let's try these ones. Here's some triangles. Good, make myself a little rectangle. Oh yeah, this is going to work, see? Now I've used triangles, I've used a rectangle, but what do I still need? Yeah, it didn't want a square, it wanted me to have two short sides and two long sides. So I'm going to have to add some other things to make this one fit. I'm going to put this one here and here to fill that in, and then I'm going to add another one here. I could also take these ones and move them down here and make myself one really nice long rectangle. All right, Okay, let's go ahead and move on over to the triangles and make other shapes. Okay, so let's see if we can make a shape that looks like this. What would we need to make this shape? What would you need to make that shape? What do you notice you would need? Yeah, you would need to have 3 of those types of triangles. Now these triangles are also included in the cutouts that you cut out. So notice that I can't have them all side by side going down, right? The points can't all go down. So this one goes that direction, this one is pointing up, and then this one goes back to pointing down if we're looking at it, the paper going this direction. Okay? All right, now how about if I wanted to make a diamond? Could you make a diamond with these? Do you see a way of making a diamond? Yeah, a diamond would look something like this, right? So is there a way that you can make a diamond? Yeah, you'd have to use some triangles here. 2 triangles would help you make a diamond, right? All right, well, how about a bigger shape? Is there another shape that you can make? How about, what if I wanted you to make this shape? All right, what is that shape? It's got 6 sides. This would be a hexagon. Okay, now this is in your kit. You could do one of these, and one of those would work, right? You also can see that it's already divided up. You can use 6 of these here, right? Okay, and you could also, let's see if there's another one in here I think that works. Let's test this out. Let's see if there's anything else we can use. I don't think that one's going to work. How about these long ones here? I don't know. Nope, I don't think those ones are intended to work in there. All right, well, it looks like those are the only 2 that we can make with that one. All right, now how about if I wanted to make some pretty things? You know, I could make some designs. Well, I can do that by, maybe I make a center. And then I can turn this, how could I turn this into, say, a square? We're not going to actually use, we don't need to use this though. Okay, we're going to kind of go back onto some blank paper. Is there a way I could turn this into a square maybe? I don't know. Let's try. What if I did something like this? And, I am trying this for the first time on my own right now. I was kind of curious about it as we're talking. So I'm trying to see if we can, what can we make with these shapes? You may not have enough of these to make them with the kit that you have. Some of you might just have fun building different types of things here. Now what if we then fill them in? What happens if I fill them in? Am I making a square? Not quite a square, but what do you notice I am making? Yeah, you'll probably notice that I'm actually making a bigger hexagon by filling it in. Okay, so you have your inner hexagon. And when you put shapes together like this, they call it composing. So we're composing other shapes with these ones. All right, there we go. Okay, all right. Okay, actually, no, we don't have a hexagon, we have a much bigger one. It almost is getting close to a circle, isn't it? Not quite, though, we have points. Okay, here we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, there are 12 sides on that one. So that's a shape that you can make. All right, how about if I wanted to do something like, let me see. Let me take my orange ones and maybe put the right triangles together. This will be our last one that we do. And you can play with these things on your own. Okay, all right, how about like that? And then what if I took, nope, not those ones. Those ones aren't designed to go with it. Oh, there we go. I can go like this, and like this, and then here, and here. Alright, so these ones I used the triangles and built them on the inside, so I used a combination of triangles and rectangles to build this shape here. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the back side of this paper. Alright, so if you were looking at this, alright, it wanted you to use this to make the new shape. So you would actually just be practicing this. And what do you notice about the blue and the green? They fit the blue and the green together and then put another one and another one and another one. Okay? And if you were to do this pattern, look at this particular one. You notice the green is on the bottom and the blue is on the top, right? So then look at the next combination. Here, the blue is on the bottom and the green is on the top. Okay, so in order to make this design, they pretty much did the same thing, okay, but here they just repeated exactly. It was blue, green, blue, green, blue, green. Here they went opposite. They did first green, blue, then they did blue, green, green, blue, blue, green. So they flipped them and they end up with this design. See how they have lines there? And how about this one? What would they have done? Yeah, they turned it side by side, and this one is green, blue. This one is blue, green. Okay? All right, now this one, they used one solid yellow, and if you look, they just used the same blue-green combination here, and then a yellow, and then a blue-green combination, and then a yellow. So you're just kind of looking at the patterns there. All right, you're going to be doing some things similar to this. You're going to be using your papers to kind of make your own. Good luck.